Mas din sa iba eh.
Dumating na naman yun ah.
Hindi na makakadating yun. Wakle oh. Wakle oh.
Wala akong sagot makadali ito pa.
Kunyari ganun.
Oo nga ito eh, init. Alam ba na yung pupuntahan na? May shit ka rin yun. May kaperdan. Tumuti. Tapos. Walang po. Walang.
Gandang kulay eh. Ano, ibang kulay. Mamaya na pagkain ng program. Ano nakukunan yung mga official sa taas.
The Electoral Property Office and
Good morning to everyone. I am the Senior Inspector General of the Philippine National Police.
we are all very pleased that you are all here today, and I am most pleased that the weather is cooperating. Welcome to this year's ceremonial destruction of counterfeit and pirated goods. This morning, we have once again worked together to organize this event, highlighting the destruction of counterfeit commodities to emphasize our commitment to the protection and enforcement of intellectual property rights. Today, we would also like to highlight the cooperation that we have already established with the organizations represented here, and we are grateful for their commitment and their support. I would also like to acknowledge the presence of the Department of Public Works and Highways, who have provided us with their heavy equipment that we will also be using to facilitate the destruction. And of course, we would also like to thank the Philippine National Police for graciously offering this venue for this event.
We request everyone to please rise for the invocation to be led by the Superintendent Rosario Rosario Jr. for the Philippine Operator.
As we pray for God's blessing. Almighty God, we submit ourselves to you as we gather today for the ceremonial destruction of counterfeit and pirated goods. With this activity, express our commitment to control and resolve these unlawful acts which adversely affect our economy and the lives of our citizenry. Guide us so we may have the passion to gain the trust and confidence of the people by showing our sincerity in truly upholding the law without fear or favor. We ask this in your most mighty name. Amen.
Please all be seated. And to give us the welcome and opening remarks on behalf of the Philippine National Police Chief, Police Director General Alan Purisima, we request Police Chief Superintendent Henry Ranyola, Deputy Director for Administration, CIDG. Thank you. I would like to greet Attorney Ricardo Alvarado, Director General. General of the Director of Public Office, members of the Executive Committee of the Intellectual Property Office of the Philippines, the members of the National Committee on Intellectual Property Rights, other visitors, and distinguished guests, our friends from the media, ladies and gentlemen, good morning and welcome to the ceremonial destruction of counterfeit, the World Anti-Counterfeiting Day. As a member of the National Committee on Intellectual Property Rights, the PNP continues to strongly address the issues of counterfeiting and piracy, made even more significant with recent developments in this campaign of countries lacking in intellectual property protection. After 2 decades, elements of counterfeiting and piracy in our country. This, after all, continues.
Chief Superintendent Cranola. Now let us call on the Director General of the Intellectual Property Office, Attorney Ricardo Blancaflor.
So far this year, from the Bureau of Customs, gentlemen, also please. Thank you. The second, the top-notcher, next awardee, Director of NBI, our third top-notcher, the Optical Media Board, Chairman Ricketts, good morning. In behalf of IPO, I would like to thank Police Chief PNP Purisima for allowing us the use of this ceremonial. I would like to thank CIDG Chief Police Director Magal for the arrangements. It is not every day that I get a chance to meet old faces again. In my various capacities in the National Defense, Department of Justice, or Office of the President, I have worked with most of you. So this is a homecoming for me. I like to see old familiar faces. Maraming salamat po in your endeavor to finally remove the Philippines from the watch list. Alam niyo po, pag buntis yung babae, nanganganak, siyang na buwan lang. Ang dami mga macho rito, pag lumigaw sa babae, ilang buwan lang, nakukuha na. It took us 13 years to be removed from the watch list. Ang tagal naman. But with the right combination from BOC, NBI, and OMB, and the hardworking members of NCIPR, nakuha rin after 11 years, after 13 years, nakuha rin. So, I think this is testimony that if we do everything, and if we do things together, we can do anything. Pero po, mayroong isang sikreto kung paano tayo natanggal sa watch list. Yung isang tao, nakahimik lang sa likod, pero ito yung nagtsatsaga na nagbubuo ng NCIPR. Ito yung pumunta sa States at kinausap yung mga kaibigan natin kung paano tayo maalis sa 301. Ito po yung sumasagot ng lahat ng tanong at lahat ng batikos. Very slowly, very quietly, the man behind the removal, very simple man, but he is the real success of the removal. No less than my deputy, si Alan Hefty. Siya yung umaway doon sa across the Pacific Ocean. But sometimes, we forget in our jubilation, there are more important things to do. And I'd like to share these two important messages this morning. Yung unang-una po, all eyes are watching the Philippines when it comes to IPR enforcement. For the simple reason that the Philippines is the enforcement champion country for Southeast Asia. So, to the members of NCIPR, I'd like to thank you again because I have thanked you twice already since we were removed. Sa office at saka sa Korean Garden, I will thank you again because not everybody knows that the NCIPR is now copied all over Southeast Asia. Yung sistema, yung connection, yung pag-coordinate, nakikita nila that if you work together, it is very easy to achieve things. And right now, sa totoo lang, there are even Southeast Asian countries who are copying the NCIPR. It's not enough na kinokopya yung ginagawa. Pati yung pangalan, kinopya. Hindi ko na babanggitin yung bansa. Pero mo, yung NCIPR ng isang lugar, isang bansa, yun din ang ginagamit na pangalan. So, to the NCIPR, I can never thank you enough. What are the consequences of this removal? Now we are recognized all over the world. 1 week after the removal, I happened to be in Hong Kong to attend the International Conference of Trademark. Nauubos po yung oras ko, 3 oras, 4 na oras ang tulog ko bawat gabi. Dahil all the big brands wanted to meet with me. All the legal officers of, you name it, Amazon, you name it, Apple, you name it, Unilever, you name it, they all want to come to the Philippines. So for every brand that we bring in, we create hundreds of jobs. For every brand that we protect, we give opportunities to our fellow Filipinos. For every brand we promote, we give millions of taxes to the government. So, ito po yung significance ng ginagawa natin. It is not something that we are removed, tapos na. We are removed so we can contribute to the economic environment. The second message I'd like to share with you is, next year, everybody is talking about the Philippines and the economic integration, the whole Southeast Asian. Pag nagsama-sama na yung buong Southeast Asian, we will be the 3rd biggest market in the world. We will be only next to Europe and next to the American market. We will be number 3. And the IP protection is the most advanced in this integration. Lahat po ng ginagawa natin dito sa Pilipinas, tinitingnan na as a template, as a model, na gagawin din sa ibang Southeast Asian countries. This is the significance of what we are doing. So, to our friends in the American Embassy bill, thank you for the removal. Because it only tells the whole world what they already know, that the Philippines don't deserve to be removed. When we finally integrate with Southeast Asian, lahat po ng ginagawa natin dito will be a common model na gagayahin ng ibang bansa so we can really address IP enforcement. So, to the NCIPR members, again, General Romero, June, you may take me out of the DOJ, but you cannot take the DOJ out of me. Magkasama pa rin tayo. Yun yung sinabi ko rin kay Director Mendez you can take me out of the DOJ, but you cannot take the NBI out of me. Salamat. To the other members of NCIPR, Customs, very good job this year. Amazing job. FDA, always there. 100% sa meeting ng NCIPR. Huwag kayong mag-alala, next year may special award si DDG Alan sa inyo. 100% attendance. Yung this year, we just recognize the seizures. Pero, ang pag-usapan na namin that there are important, very important pillars of enforcement. Hindi lang yung seizure, yung justice system, yung international relations, and also the specialized agencies. So, to every member of NCIPR, hindi sayang po yung pawis nyo. For every brand we protect, we create hundreds of jobs. So, dito na lang po natin titingnan. Hindi yung dahil na-remove tayo, tapos na yung trabaho. We have to continue to protect them because in the end, ang buong bansa makikinabang. It's a big fight. We need everybody on board. This year, we are recognizing for the first time a member of the judiciary as an IP champion because our fight is not complete without the judicial participation. To everybody else, magandang umaga po. It's really unique kasi kahapon binabagyo tayo. Ngayon, sabi ko nga kay Chairman Ricketts, pinabigyan tayo 2 oras ng walang ulan. Paglabas natin, traffic jam. Magandang umaga po sa lahat.
Thank you, Director Jeff. Give their statements of support. First, I'd like to call on Chairman Ronald Ricketts of the Optical Media Board.
Good morning, everyone. Sir DG, our distinguished guests, and of course, our NCIDR team. Actually, sir, I'd like to add about si Sir Alan. Kasama ko siya. I was with him in the States, and you know, something with this fellow talagang, everybody was impressed on how he delivered, how he talked. Nauusan nga ng questions, we have to even add up, and we're only supposed to have 12 meetings, but it ballooned up to 21 meetings in 1 week. So, hands off to kay Sir Alan, of course, to IPO for this event. And also, just like to add, when I first came as chairman, sa office ko, they always tell me na imposible raw matanggal tayo sa watch list. So it's sort of a moral boost that finally we're out of the watch list. It's given us more concentration, more focus on our work, especially now we are into information drive, yung aming ginagawang bawal kumopes going global, thanks to the help of other agencies as well, no? So, it's a new phase that we're doing, like, you know, every week we do a lot of information campaign, like this afternoon I'll be going to Olivares College to do a lot of talks with regards to our campaign, not just operations, prosecution, but also information drive. It's one thing that we seen na being very effective po yung aming kampanya, and of course, with the coordination with other agencies like the NBI, PNP, CIDG, and of course IPO, now it's also been there to support our campaign. So again, thank you very much. It's another great morning. Like sinabi ni Sir DG, maganda yung panahon. Let's take advantage of it. Mabuhay po tayong lahat, and God bless po. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Chair, for that commitment. For the National Bureau of Investigation, let us welcome Director Virgilio L. Mendez.
Good morning, everybody. My greetings and respect to Yusek Blanca, sir, officers of the IPO, guests, co-awardees, magandang umaga po. First of all, I'd like to congratulate IPO, officers, agents, partner institutions for the recent taking away of the Philippines from the special 3-1 list. I'd say that our IPR enforcement training really paid off. As one enforcer of the law to another and a concerned citizen, I would agree to the businessman's stand that intellectual property rights are cornerstone of our innovative economy and are critical to the different industries and to millions of consumers across the globe. I'm honored for this recognition that you gave me and to the Bureau. I'm receiving this not only for myself, but for the entire Bureau. For all the agents, to Attorney Jacinto of our IPRD, for all the agents who fought alongside with you in counterfeiting and piracy. I assure IPO of our unwavering support and that our partnership in this endeavor will go a long way. Let us strengthen our interagency coordination program and further improve our investigation, enforcement, and prosecution cases until the intellectual property, especially the protection of cyber-based delivery of copyrighted contents. Congratulations to all of us, and once again, thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. We are glad that the NBI is our partner in this lifelong endeavor. Now I would like to call on Food and Drug Administration, Attorney Donna May Sanchez.
Magandang umaga po sa inyo lahat. Magandang umaga sa mga panaugin, mga binuot, ginang. Sa ngalan po ng aming pinuno, Dr. Kenneth Artigango, ang Food and Drug Administration ay pinapabatid ang aming karangalan at kagalakan sa pagdalo sa okasyong ito. Taon-taon mo, kasama ko ang Food and Drug Administration sa pagdiriwang ng World Anti-Counterfeiting Day at taon-taon din ay aming ipinagtitibay at pinaiigting ang aming pakikibaka laban sa paglaganap ng mga peking produkto, lalo na po ang peking gamot, pagkain at iba pang kagamitang pampalusutan. Sa okasyong ito, bilang isang simbolo ng ating sama-samang halikain sa pagsugpo sa mga peking produkto, ay ating malinaw na mensahe sa mga kapatid nating Pilipino na huwag tumakilit sa mga ganitong produkto na nakakadulot ng masama sa ating kalusugan at lalo na sa ating ekonomiya. Wala nang tamang panahon kundi ang kasalukuyan upang ideklara ang ating patuloy na pakikipaglaban sa mga peking produkto sa pamamagitan ng pagbibigay na sapat na kaalaman sa ating mga mamimili ng mga panganib na paggamit ng mga peke at hikayatin sila na bigyan ng tuon at solusyon ang problemang ito. Tandaan po natin, wala pong effect ang peke. Magandang umaga po ulit at maraming salamat po.
Thank you, Attorney Sanchez. Another vanguard in the protection of intellectual property rights, let us call on Senior Deputy State Prosecutor Severino H. Gane, Jr. of the Department of Justice.
Thank you very much, Nadine, for the kind introduction. Chief Superintendent Henry Lanyola, representing GPNP Alan Purisima, Tony Ricardo Blacaflor, Director General of IPFIL, Court of Appeals Presiding Justice Andres Reyes, Sir, good friend Regional General Rafael Romero, Head of Seminarian, DDG Alan Hefty, and DDG Nelson Luces, Chairman of OMB, Ron Advocates, my fellow members in Donna Sanchez, representing Dr. Go, and my fellow members in the NCIPR, our friends in the media, ladies and gentlemen, good morning. On behalf of the Honorable Secretary of Justice, Laila M. De Lima, the Department of Justice, through the Task Force on Anti-Intellectual Property Piracy, joins the Intellectual Property Office in today's ceremonial destruction of counterfeit and pirated goods, which aims to uphold IP advocacy and support the National Committee on Intellectual Property Rights, the NCIPR's mandate to intensify protection and enforcement of intellectual property rights in the Philippines. The importance of protecting property rights goes well beyond promoting creativity and innovation. Protecting intellectual property rights is equally important. Today, enforcement agencies are held by the fact that consumers are increasingly aware that the fake products are not just cheap imitations. The presence of counterfeit goods can cause serious safety threats to consumers and society. However, one of the main difficulties of combating IP crimes is the diverse responsibilities in government. It is not uncommon that different government departments and agencies are involved in IPR registration, protection, and enforcement. While local knowledge is important in combating IP crimes, the advent of new IT technology, globalization of trade, and increased complexity of international supply chain have added new dimension to the problem. Law enforcement agencies and IP protection authorities, by definition, work at the national level. Unfortunately, the criminal syndicates do not. They have long gone globalized and diversified. Our cooperation is mutually rewarding. I believe that to intensify exchanges and enhance understanding in a cooperative spirit like this activity is conducive to promoting the sound development of IPR protection work. I hope that we could work in a healthy manner. Rest assured that we will continue to perform our mandate of investigating and prosecuting pirates. We will fully support the initiatives of the ICPR and work closely with concerned law enforcement agencies towards an effective way of fighting piracy. The collective efforts of the members of the National Committee of Intellectual Property Rights has paid off when the USTR recently decided to remove the Philippines from the Special 301 report, which is a review of the state of IPR protection and enforcement of America's trading partners. The USTR recognized that the Philippine government has enacted a series of significant legislative and regulatory reforms to enhance the protection and enforcement of IPR in the Philippines and has made laudable civil and administrative enforcement gains. With the removal of the Philippines from the watch list, more businesses and investments are expected to come in and boost the Philippine economy. Therefore, we must continue our efforts to ensure that we will not be part of that list again. For the information of all the people now present, Yusek Blancaflor was once an undersecretary, DDG Blancaflor was one of the undersecretary of Justice. And he was the YACAT, the human trafficking, and I was the chairman of the task force. We were in the Tier 2 watch list at the time in 2005, and we had 0 convictions. But when Yusek Blancaflor came in, we were taken out of the watch list. And now we have more than 140 convictions in human trafficking. And he transferred to the IFOFIL. And here, as he said, we were in the watch list for 11 years. And then here comes the watch list remover expert. And now we are out after 11 years. A big hand for Director Bang. Taking this opportunity, we would like to congratulate all the members of the National Committee on Intellectual Property Rights for the work well done. Thank you very much for it.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for the commitment from the Department of Justice. Last but very much not the least, we'd like to call on Deputy Special Envoy General Rafael S. Romero. He's from the Office of the Special Envoy on Transnational Crime.
To everyone, good morning. To Director General Attorney Ricardo Blancaflor, to the presiding justice of the Court of Appeals, Justice Andres Reyes, to the members of the National Committee on Intellectual Property Rights, to our distinguished guests here present. Magandang umaga po. Allow me now to read to you the statement of support of the Office of the Special Envoy on Transnational Crime under retired Director General Rex Pian. The Office of the Special Envoy on Transnational Crime fully recognized the problem and issues besetting developing countries in their war against counterfeiting and piracy. That trafficking in counterfeit items undeniably have a wider effect on the prevailing state of national and global economy, constituting about 5 to 7% of world trade, or closer to $600 billion in money terms. This is according to the International Anti-Counterfeiting Coalition statistics. That the rise of the internet and e-commerce sites have made it easier to contribute counterfeit goods with sale via the internet, estimated to reach about $135 billion. That extended international supply chain, and more recently the global economic downturn, proliferation of fake goods abound everywhere, as consumers who are short of money are now trading down from the real items, and companies that are forced to cut on cost have made their supply chains more vulnerable to counterfeit parts. Confronted by these hard realities and situation, the crime of counterfeiting and piracy therefore compels strong and sustained action from the government, business, and consumers alike. Thus, in response to the challenge of stopping and preventing counterfeiting and piracy activities, the Office of the Special Envoy on Transnational Crime aligns its full support with the Global Anti-Counterfeiting Group in their fight and advocacy to prevent the illegal distribution and proliferation of counterfeit goods, in the protection of industries and business with legitimate intellectual property rights, and in safeguarding the country and our communities from the harmful use of counterfeit products. Therefore, at OCT's end, we hereby stake our commitment and support to global and national efforts against counterfeiting and piracy. And we will do this by way of strategic research and policy recommendations in improving legal and regulatory framework to better combat the crimes of counterfeiting and piracy, and to explore and tap international technical assistance in support of the capacity building enhancement of our law enforcement, and finally, to establish and build partnerships with local anti-counterfeiting units and the industry in raising awareness on counterfeiting and piracy issues. In this crusade, the Office of the Special Envoy on Transnational Crime is and will continue to be your reliable partner. Once again, congratulations to the Intellectual Property Office and to all the stakeholders. Magandang umaga po.
Thank you, General. We salute our partners in our relentless campaign against counterfeiters. Now, next part of the program is the recognition of IP champions. I would like to call on my big bosses, Director General Blanca Flor.
Recognition for General Mario Mendoza, District Collector, Bureau of Customs, in grateful recognition for his extraordinary dedication and commitment in the rigorous fight against counterfeiting and piracy. Signed, Ricardo Blanca Flor, Director General, IPO Philippines. May we request him also to receive the plaques of similar plaque of recognition in behalf of Attorney Teddy Sandy Rabal, Chief IPR Division, Bureau of Customs, and of course another plaque of recognition for Honorable John Philip Sevilla, Commissioner, Bureau of Customs. Congratulations. Let's give him another round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. We are also giving a plaque of recognition to Honorable Andres Reyes Jr., Justice, Court of Appeals, in grateful recognition of his extraordinary support to the continuing capacity building program for appellate justices and court attorneys. Similar plaque of recognition is also presented to Mr. Ronald, the Director Virgilio Mendez, in grateful recognition of his exemplary leadership and extraordinary support in leading the National Bureau of Investigation in the rigorous fight against counterfeiting and piracy. Congratulations, let's give him a round of applause. Similar plaque of recognition is also presented to Mr. Ronald Ricketts in grateful recognition of his exemplary leadership and commitment in leading the Optical Media Corp in the rigorous fight against counterfeiting and piracy. Similar plaque of recognition is presented to Attorney Dante Jacinto, Chief IBR Division, NBI, for being the top performer in terms of seizure of counterfeit and pirated goods. Once again, to all the awardees, congratulations, and let's give them another round of applause.
Fulfill Executive Committee and representative from the private sectors, I would like you all to please witness the destruction. So,
We invite our senior officers from the Philippine National Police and other guests to please witness the destruction of counterfeited and pirated goods. Thank you very much.
Oh, baliin sir, baliin sir. Pwede sir, ganun, sir, oh. Sir, break sir, break. 1, 2, 3. Oh, sir. Ah, sir. Sabi na nga ba, si Robin lang gagawa niyan eh. Oh, alis na dyan, alis na dyan! Oy, oy! Oy, 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 oy! Ano yan? Oy, sapaw, sapaw! Oy, alis kayo dyan! Alis mo na! Para... more. Sir, atras, atras, atras. Go, sir, go. Go, guys. Okay. Bilang dito, sir. Ang paputla. Okay. That's it.
Sir, sige na sige.
Yan sir, yan na. Yan na sir. Oh.
Ano, atras tayo, atras. Atras, atras. Oh. Ayun na.
Yep. Height. Go.
Kamay, sir, kamay, sir. Problem lang.
Oh, yung ano, yung camera. Oh, yung camera mo. Abante pa. Sige, malayo. Sige, malayo.
Wop, atras! Nakabante pa!
Ayoko na, kayo na lang.
Abante ako tonight.
Rolling ako.
Rolling daw siya, rolling. Rolling wickets daw siya. Bante pa, sir.
Sir, dapat ka, sir. Sir, dapat ka city, sir. Sir, dapat ka city. Sir, dapat ka city, sir. Dapat ka, sir. Sir, dapat. Awak mo, sir. Awak ka, sir.
Uy!
Kaya pa. Ayan, sir. Ayan. Yun. Okay. Okay.
Wala.
Oh, sir, tingin, camera, sir.
Camera.
Sir, Bart, sir. Okay.